How y'all doing? Hey roomies, it's Sage. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Sorry. I think I just need to open the video saying I'm sorry. I've been gone, but I'm here now. I'm home. I said I want to get close again. Let's get close. Can we get close? How have you been? I don't want this whole video to be like an apology, but it might be because I'm so sorry. Like, I've wanted nothing more than to film a YouTube video, but I've just been so... a lot's been going on, okay? Where do we start? Where do I even begin? Last year, right before the holidays began, I recorded a video. It was a 20-minute video, and it was about perfectionism and laziness and like how people kind of confuse the two, and my stance on being lazy and kind of using perfectionism as an excuse to be lazy. Because I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, especially people that are creative and like artists and people who make things and, you know, people that are like in their 20s like me. So I felt like a lot of people could relate to that. But the video got deleted. That's why you guys haven't heard from me, because after that video got deleted, I was so like heartbroken, and I was mentally like already not there. I had to push myself to record that. And so when it got deleted, I was like, you know what?
I'm good. I'm gonna take a break.
I said I need a hiatus.
I'm gonna take a break.
I can't do this. I can't. So I took a little break. I mean, a long break. That was not a little break. And a lot has happened. A lot has changed. So let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. In that video, in that 20-minute video, I kind of got down to the conclusion of why I mask, you know, my laziness with perfectionism. And moral of the story is there's a lack of self-love there. There's a lack of self-love. There's a lack of self-security. Just a lack of a lot to do with me internally. And one of the big things that I just realized about myself this year, or technically last year, is that I am full of shame. Shame is evil, and I'm full of her. So technically, I'm evil. Shame has been hiding me away. I think I got a little ashamed after coming to the realization that I'm lazy. I'm a lazy bastard. I like to procrastinate and just fall off and just coast and not do anything, and that's shameful. Like, I'm ashamed of that. So let's talk about where I've been. For starters, let's get into that. Later last year, like in December, I was talking to my best friend about wanting to move out of my aunt's house. I couldn't find a job for so long. I think my very first video on this channel is me talking about how I could not find a job. I can't find a job. It was just so hard. Like, I don't know why it was so hard. I was just telling my best friend how I wanted to change and I wanted something to happen. I want something to happen. I need something to happen or I'm gonna die. It was that serious. We ended up talking and exchanging ideas. We ultimately came up with a plan where I would come live with her. We had created this plan based off of pure codependency. I'm not gonna lie, and my best friend knows this. We're codependent. Like, we are codependent final bosses. Everything we're doing, it has to be done together. My best friend, she still stays with her mom, and we had made arrangements for me to move in with them. She talked to her mom about it, and her mom agreed, and everything was cool. So we were just waiting. You know, there were some things going on at their house that they wanted to take care of before letting me come stay there. So I just had a lot of time to get things ready, get things moving, plan some more things out, and just, it was smooth sailing from December all the way up till February. February is when we really got the ball rolling and like things moving, and you know, we were really I started packing late February. I started, you know, moving things out. March was around the corner and my room was cleared. You know, I gave my aunt back her key. I went to my mom's house for a few days, and I was just like, well, I'm just waiting for them to give me the go ahead so we can, you know, get the stuff into their house. March 1st, it already came. You know, I'm already out of my aunt's, and it was 3 days after, and my best friend calls me and she's like, I'm sorry, girl. And I'm like, oh my God, I knew it. I hadn't talked to her for days, like since the beginning of the month. We haven't spoke, and it's, you know, we talk every single day. So I'm like, I know something's wrong. The next time we talk, it's gonna be bad news. So she called me, and it indeed was some bad news. She said her mom changed her mind, and you know, she made some very fair points.
Because I'm big and I'm fat and I'm nasty.
At the end of the day, that's her house. You know, she didn't want me there That's fine. My back was against the wall and I didn't have anywhere to go. Like, I was like, what am I gonna do? We were gonna move in together. We were gonna keep each other accountable. We were gonna start, getting our licenses, looking for apartments, but that did not happen. And so I had to figure out an entirely new plan. I felt a little frantic. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I got the call, I didn't really know what to do or say. So I kind of just told my mom, and I didn't know what plan needed to be made. I didn't have a plan B or plan C. So I was so upset with myself. Like, I was so mad. I'm like, this is what you get. Like, that whole situation sounded too good to be true. She was gonna let me stay there rent free. That already was, this is too good to be true. So, and I couldn't really believe it, but I was just going with the flow. I'm like, this is happening. This is happening. I think deep down, me and my best friend both knew that it was too good to be true and that it wouldn't happen. And we still didn't allow ourselves to think any other thoughts because there was so much riding on this situation. There was so much riding on us living together. Like, once we found out that we weren't gonna live together, we were like, it's over. Our friendship's over. We're so dramatic. I had talked to one of my friends out in San Diego, and she mentioned coming to stay out there. She had a job set up for me and all these amazing opportunities. She's amazing, love her. I was like, oh, I'm moving to San Diego, goodbye. But I didn't have anywhere to stay out there, and I didn't want to go out there and be homeless, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to go out there and not have anything. I was just kind of like in this limbo state of like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna, like, what's happening? I was gonna stay with my mom, but I couldn't bring myself to feel comfortable staying with my mom again, especially after not living with her for so long. I haven't lived with my mom in like 3 years. I don't know why. Whatever internal shit was going on there, I could not bring myself to do it. And at this time, I was being destructive and chaotic. Like, I was being crazy. And so I got into a fight with my mom, and ultimately she was just like, I'm done. And she kicked me out, and I really had my back against the wall. I was like, I have to figure out where the fuck I'm gonna go. Like, what am I gonna do? I figured out that I'm not going to San Diego. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I can't afford to get out there. I don't have a place to stay out there. I can't do it. So I called one of my family members and asked if I could stay with her for a while until I get a job and, just figure out something to do. And that's where I am. I'm at my grandma's house. So, ever since then, kind of just, I don't know, really reflecting and thinking about my decisions and what I want to do with my life. And I think that whole situation just put everything into perspective. Like, I had always told myself, like, oh, when my back's against the wall, I can pull my shit together, like, and have it together on my own. But truth be told, I haven't done anything on my own. I have so much support from so many people. And at that time, I was so upset with the situation with my best friend, that flopping. I was upset with myself for not having a plan B. I was upset with myself for not wanting to stay with my mom, and I was destructive, and I kind of took all of that support for granted. And obviously there are some deeper reasons on why I didn't want to stay with my mom. There's some internal work that needs to be done there. And it's just so crazy because, I have all the support, and it's so much easier to kind of find the negative things and all of the positive things in your life, especially when you don't like yourself. It's so much easier I was picking out all of the terrible shit that my mom used to do or that I feel like she would do instead of focusing on the things that she's doing now. And the things that she's doing now for me as a Black trans girl is so much more than a lot of trans girls can say that their moms are doing for them. I had to slap myself in the face like, bitch, you are a piece of shit. I sat with myself and I was just like, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Shame for allowing myself to forget that I'm blessed. Like, I have so much love and so much support, and I might not seem like it because of all the shit that I have going on in here and in here, but I do. I have people. I have love. I have friends and family, and I forget because, that's what shame and doubt and depression and having a negative self-view does to you. Like, I internalize everything and I push it out onto the world. I get so overwhelmed and I just push people away, and I I make people feel like shit, make them feel like they're not wanted, and make them feel like they're not doing anything for me. And that's so not the case. And it took me coming here to like really separate myself from all of that and kind of realize like, no, like I do have love and I do have support and I don't have to do that, you know? And so I had a conversation with my mom and we patched things up and I apologized a lot. You know, I went on my apology tour after that because I was just I had so much regret. I'm like, I'm a piece of shit. So I've just been here at my grandma's house. I've been here for a month already, almost a month. I moved here in like March, I forgot. I have a job, so I think I got a job like the first week I was out here. I went to Ross and I applied there, but I could tell that the manager wasn't really feeling me. I physically went in with my resumes in hand. I had a little folder and I was like,
y'all niggas hiring? Is y'all niggas hiring?
I'm playing out. I said, hi, you know, can I speak to the manager? And the lady was like, nigga. Anyways, so I just knew she wasn't feeling me at Ross. So I went next door to Dollar Tree, thank God, and I asked for the manager. And I was like, hey, look, I'm looking for a job. I have my resume. If you guys are hiring, you know, she liked my personality. She liked my tenacity. And I'm so grateful, so grateful. I'm so excited. Have been waiting for a job for so long. Like, I made my first video because I couldn't find a fucking job and I was so mad about it. And now I felt like it'll be a good time to come back and just announce that I finally have a job. Because I got the call for the interview and I did a dance when I got out of the building. At the door, I went outside and I did a dance. And then I got in the car and I did the dance again with my grandma. And then I cried when I got home because I'm just like, I've wanted this for so long. And I really felt like I needed to do that internal work before the universe was just like, okay, bitch, here you go. Here's what you wanted. Because I was just so hateful, so negative, so doubtful. I had to let that go and I had to make amends with these people that I was pushing away. And I'm still doing it. I'm still making amends. I'm still working on it. But yeah, lately, I've been struggling with shame and depression. Let us not forget why we're here. Shame. Shame. We all know her. Recently, she's been attached to my back, telling me that I'm nothing. I'm not worth anything. I'm shit. You're shit. You're poo. I believe her. You know, like I genuinely believe that I'm a terrible artist, a terrible friend, a terrible, you know, person. Shame has been kicking my ass. And so has accountability, because I've been taking accountability and it's hard. I want to be a good person. I want to work on myself. I want to be better than I was last year and the year before that and the year before that. I want to keep growing and keep becoming who I am. And who I am is not a negative, evil, rude person. I said, I'm nice. Tell me I'm nice. I've just been dealing with my doubts and fears and the shame that I have about wanting to live. I want to live. I think I've been trying to convince everyone else around me that I want to live so much so that I forgot to convince myself that I want to live. Like I genuinely forgot. For so long, I didn't. I wanted to die. I thought I deserved to die. I thought that I just, you know, better off gone. I think shame has been holding a mirror up to my true feelings about wanting a future and a life and wanting to live. And I have been having doubts, like, can I have these beautiful things that I want? Can I, you know, actually make it out of my head and live a life and be this version of myself that I see every time I close my eyes? Like, can I be the girl? Do you know what I mean? And shame has kind of been like, girl, no, you're a man in a wig. You're a boy. You will always be a boy, you know, and it's just coupled with dysphoria, and shame has been keeping me in a dungeon mentally. I have been doubting myself a lot. Like, I've been doubting if I deserve a future. I've been doubting if I deserve to live. And I've been doubting if I deserve anything beautiful, anything good. Because I think I don't feel good. I don't feel beautiful. So I'm just like, how could you have any of that? You're not that. You know what I mean? And I've also been creatively backed up. Like, I have not been able to write, produce, record a single song. I want to make music again. I want to feel good about making music again. I haven't in so long, and it's like, I'm just ashamed. I'm ashamed that I took all my music down. I'm ashamed that I don't believe in myself. I'm ashamed that I stopped posting on TikTok, and I'm ashamed that I'm a trans woman. I'm just ashamed. Recently, like I said, I've been just talking about my dreams and my wants and the things that I want. You know, I made a video about romanticizing my life, and I do that all the time. You know, me and my best friend, all we do is talk about us in Paris and sitting at these fashion shows and these runways and, you know, being at these red carpet events and living a life that's not laying in my bed eating Tina burritos and watching New Girl on my laptop. Living a life that's not playing Marvel Rivals and screaming at people. Living a life that's not sitting in my room and isolating myself and literally losing vitamin D, turning pale, losing your skin color because you're sitting in your room so much. Like I'm killing myself. Like I have no social life. You know, I don't go out. I have 2 friends that I see. I have 1 friend that I see. I talk about how I want all these beautiful things. I want more. And I think I'm just been ashamed because I'm like, why haven't you done what you need to do to get more? Why aren't you putting in the effort and the hard work to get more? Like, you should be doing more because you want more. I haven't been doing that. So I'm telling myself, like, girl, if you really wanted it, you will go get it. And although that is the case, it's so hard, especially since I'm like, I live in my head rent free. I think that I can have a music career. You know, it might not be what I imagined when I was like 11, like hell, even 17, but it's something, you know, like I can have a beautiful life because your life is what you make it. And I've just been on this like emotional journey of trying to feel beautiful. I dead ass genuinely feel like there's so much wrong with me physically. And that's just dysphoria, obviously, coupled with the beauty standards and how they are so unreachable, you know, especially as a Black woman, let alone a Black trans woman. So I'm just like, do I even try? Yes. But, you know, I've just been trying to find that beauty in myself because I know it's there. I know that there's so much more about me than just my looks. And I have to fall in love with myself. I have to fall in love with myself so that everything in my life will be love and beauty and grace and patience and, you know, all these beautiful things. I have to find them in me to find them in the world. Like, I truly do. I think that's just emotionally where I've been, you know, just longing for something else, but also understanding that I have to be something else and put in something else to get something else. You know what I mean? Let's talk about where I'm going because that's exciting. I'm excited for the future. I truly am. I have a job. I was crying today. It was injection day. So I caught myself sitting and listening to music, crying and thinking about all the negative things about me, about my life, and about the things that I don't have and about the things that I don't like and the things that I want to change. And I immediately caught myself and I was like, but look at the things you do have. I have a job. I have family. My grandma's letting me stay here rent free. I have beauty in my life. You know what I mean? Like, I have my mom. I have family members that love me. I have friends that love and support me. I have, you know, people that are excited for my YouTube videos. I have people that are excited for my music. I have all these beautiful things that I say that I don't and then I act like I don't. I allowed myself to feel the heaviness of that, but I also grounded myself and told myself, like, girl, you should be elated right now. Like, I should genuinely be elated. I have a job, and I did have a job interview a couple days ago, and I'm pretty sure I have that job too. So I might have 2 jobs at the moment, more than I could ever ask for. You know, I'm here at my grandma's house just focusing on my mental health, focusing on my self-care, taking better care of myself, writing in my journal, you know, and just focusing on being better. You know, I'm rebuilding relationships with my sisters, which is so much more than I could have ever asked for. Like, I love my sisters, and I haven't talked to them and really got to really sit with them and get to be with them and know them in so long. And it's because I had so much shame there. Like, they're not gonna want to know this. They're not gonna want to get to know who I am because I'm ugly. You know, I'm not a good person. I'm not this idea that people have of me. I'm not sweet and kind, and, you know, because I have this all or nothing thinking, unfortunately. Can you tell I'm in therapy now? And it cuts to my therapist tied up back there, and she's like, But anyways, I've just been really working on my mental and working on being grateful. I used to think that I was so grateful, and I'm like, girl, I could be a lot more grateful. And I will. It's been a journey this past couple of months, but I'm excited. You know, I'm excited to get back to posting videos. I'm excited to get back to making music. I'm excited to get back to remembering that I'm more than the negative. I'm more than shame. I'm more than the negative things about me. I do deserve a life, and I deserve to live and have more beautiful things. And I'm excited to document it. I'm gonna force myself. I'm gonna force myself to record. Like, I'm gonna force myself to get on camera. Stop being shy. I'm excited, and I really appreciate you guys for being here. Like, I love doing this so much, and it brings me so much joy, and I've been being mean to myself, so I took this away, you know, filming and recording and just, you know, being with you guys. Remember how close we were? We lost that because of me, but it's okay. We're gonna get back. I'm gonna be uploading every Sunday, so be on the lookout. I promise. And it cuts to me not uploading next Sunday. I'll be there or I'll be square. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to see where this goes. And yeah, don't forget to smile. Oh, bye, fat.